What's up, sports fans? What's up, world? This is MC Run with his co-host.
It's Kenneth.
And we are keeping it 10 toes down. We are the sports podcast that asks that same old question that comes around every single year. Dallas Cowgirl fans and nation, are y'all still them boys? Are you still them boys? Because once again, I feel like this happens year in. I feel like this happens like so many times. The 49ers once again didn't think so. Like, it is just wonderful, so wonderful to watch Cowgirls fans and the Cowgirl faithful just be disappointed game in and game out. And like you really thought you had it this time, and the 49ers once again. It's okay. We'll go more into that later. But we got here a special guest with us here with the podcast. So once again, my man Q, say what's up to the people, please.
What's up? I'm in and I'm down, and let's talk some ball.
Exactly, man. It is once again great to have you on the podcast again. It's been like about a year or two?
It's been a while.
I thought exactly, just a little bit too long. I thought we'd be able to get you, on the podcast a couple more times before today, but it's okay. It, as the saying goes, it's better late than never. So, let's go ahead and talk about these games last week. These week 5 games, and let's start right where I want to start. Is we ain't gonna start with last Thursday night's game, because really I want to forget about that game entirely. Anyway, let's talk about last Sunday night's game. The Dallas Cowgirls getting destroyed by the 49ers. So, Q, I'm going to let you start off with this one.
Well, I am all too accustomed to that game because I just so happened to start Dak Prescott as my fantasy QB. And
didn't I trade you Dak Prescott?
Fantasy match by 100 points. So, yeah, I'm very accustomed to that.
I love it when a plan comes together.
So, I don't know what's going on with the Cowboys. I admit, maybe I was buying in too strong after they beat the Giants. I thought they had a lot more in the tank than they did. I know the 49ers legit. They've already shown that they were. If it wasn't for Brock Purdy going down, they probably would have been in the Super Bowl last year. But alas, here we are. 42-10 though. That's the one that's shocking me. I thought the Cowboys was a lot better than that. So I don't know. Maybe it's a fluke, but that's all I got. Dak is. Some days he's up, and that day he was down. I think he had 3 picks. So yeah.
All right, KJ, how do you feel while watching it?
Man, I think that to Q's point about Brock Purdy is undefeated in the regular season. Let's be real. They lost that game. I ain't gonna say they only lost that game because he got hurt. They lost that game because he got hurt. So yeah, the Niners been legit since last year. Their defense is on point. Then they're bringing in more defensive people from the Eagles, like they need more linemen. Like, so you already know that their defense is gonna wreak havoc. And then now through how many games? It's 4 or 5 through 5 games. Mm-hmm. Christian McCaffrey been healthy, and he's been looking like an MVP candidate for sure. If not one,
best running back in the league.
My favorite running back. Hey, he's still wearing black and blue to me. But yeah, I mean Dallas, bro. Like I am underwhelmed by y'all this year because y'all smacked the Giants, but you smacked Daniel Jones. Come on, okay, we're gonna throw that out the window because it's Daniel Jones. Then y'all play an Aaron Rodgers Jets team. Y'all dodged a bullet. Then that bullet, I don't know if y'all ever seen the movie Wanted, but that bullet curved and came around and y'all got hit by the Cardinals. Y'all got another feel good against Mac Jones, but then y'all faced the real team. And really one of your competitors, honestly. Because not only are they one of the best teams in the NFC this year, y'all had to play them last year in the playoffs, and y'all been playing them since like Joe Montana. Okay, so y'all should know this franchise pretty well. Y'all, it don't end up well for y'all. But I think really for me, with Dallas is y'all missing Kellen Moore. Y'all are missing Kellen Moore. And because Dak is really good when he has a strong run game to lean on, and yeah, they got Tony Pollard, but the play calling is more pass centric now, as we can see with them bringing in Brandon Cooks, but they ain't really been doing nothing. So it's not looking too good for them boys in Dallas. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm going to say, listen. First of all, this game was wonderful to watch. Watching the Cowboys get their ass whooped on national television is a wonderful thing as me as a Commanders fan, especially what happened last Thursday night and that embarrassment. We'll talk about next because we are obligated to because I really don't want to talk about the game. But anyway, but it made everything feel so just watching Dak throw picks. Like it's just so, like Cowboys fans really thought like, oh, you're underestimating us, guys. We're gonna show you all. We're gonna damn all the haters. We're gonna show you all that we're a great team and all that. I'm like, what happened? What happened, y'all? What happened? What happened to that elite defense? What happened to that Texas Coast offense? What happened to all of that? What happened to Dak not throwing picks this year? What happened to all that? It was all fool's gold. It was all fake. What y'all saw in those last, when y'all lost to the Cardinals, that should have gave y'all that wake up call. That should have gave your whole team that wake up call. But apparently, the 49ers needed to show y'all what a real good team looks like, all right? Like, the Cowboys were completely outclassed in every single way. Defense, special teams, offense, quarterback, running back, wide receivers. Man, Brandon Ayuk made CeeDee Lamb look like a fourth-string receiver. Come on, man. Like,
it was really George Kittle show too, man. They catching 3 touchdown passes.
Exactly, man. It was, I gotta give it a clap for the 49ers, man.
Christmas for you, huh?
Exactly, man. This game, I don't know if I enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed this game from beginning to end. I enjoyed every single moment of it. Like, even when the Cowboys got their breaks, it still didn't matter.
This game was hard to start.
That was some wonderful stuff right there. That was, once again, the 49ers did not think y'all were them boys. Woo! You know what? The 49ers and Cowboys is a game that it just keeps on giving. It just keeps on giving. First it was Dak not handing the ball to the ref. Then it was they putting Zeke at center, and now it's this ass whooping on Epic Proportions. Like
Zeke at center, I'll never forget that.
So I'm just
don't get too high. Don't get too high, yo, because we do gotta talk about a specific team very soon.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and just talk about this bull crap game.
There's other butt whooping.
No.
Yeah, okay,
you know what? Fine. You know what, KJ? You got the show, man. I'm muting my.
Put that man on a mute button. Yes, sir. My cousin Justin Fields came out here and performed 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Of course, he's going to get his rushing yards as well. DJ Moore looked like that is another player that I still see in black and blue. That man right there showed y'all he is a number one receiver. Cole Kmet.
Help my fantasy team. 49 points, baby.
Oh, it's nice to see you again, Romeo. Hey, how you doing? So you came out of hiding. Yeah, man, for sure. It was a great day for the Bears. Now I'm a little nervous. Because y'all, not to bag on your team, but they did play Washington. Now if y'all listened to the last podcast, I thought that the Bears being a running team for real versus a good front seven, I was like, okay, that's gonna neutral itself out. But I also said that Justin Fields was gonna have a great game, and by God, he had a marvelous game. And they really made up for that for the week before when they played the Broncos and really just handed them the gun. I'm kind of nervous with them because we've seen them have a good week and then squander it. We see them have another good week, but it's against Washington. Next week they got to play the Vikings. They don't have a good secondary. I hope they keep pushing on. But yeah, I'm gonna say this one time only. Bear down.
Yeah. All right, Q. How did you feel in this game, man?
I admit, I don't know what it is about the Red Commanders football team, whatever that you like to call them.
The Red Commanders football team.
All three, baby.
They are
the fighting
gold at times. I want to believe in them. They've had some good games this year, and maybe I don't know. Because I feel like I was trying to be on Sam Howell's side. I thought maybe he can be the quarterback of the future. Maybe not so much. Defense is not producing as well as I feel like they should. Against the Bears, Justin Fields, and you let him throw 4 touchdowns? Not even run 4 touchdowns. You let him throw for 4 touchdowns? How does that happen?
Right.
Who does that happen to? Yeah, I don't know. Is it Ron Rivera got to figure some stuff out up there? Washington has been struggling for a long time. Maybe in this post-Dan Snyder era, they can get some new life in. Because Washington, or how you lose to the Bears?
The Bears.
Okay, I'm going to explain this to you all right? Because being, first of all, I said this last week and last podcast, all right? I said I'm very honest about my team, all right? I've said we are the only thing good about our defense is the front four. Once you get them blocked up, the rest of the defense can be had. I keep on telling people that. I told you that on the podcast last week. I told you on the week before. I've said this. The only good thing about our defense is our front four. I said we also have a problem in the offensive line. We've had this problem since last season. It did not get fixed this season. I realized that even during the preseason games when I watched them, I'm like, yeah, we did not fix the problem with the offensive line. The offensive line is still a problem. All right. So that's why coming into the regular season, I knew that the weakness of our teams, the two weaknesses of our teams, which is the back seven of our defense and our offensive line, on the offensive side on the ball has shown up on these last 3 losses that we've had. We've lost 3 in a row, and it's due to one, and it even showed up in our wins too. Our bad secondary. Why do you think the Broncos are able to score that Hail Mary on us? Bad secondary. I keep on telling people, like, it showed up. It has shown up in every single game this season. Those same problems. I noticed it in the preseason. I noticed these problems in the preseason, and they did. And I'm like, ain't nobody want to, like, y'all said y'all fixed it. Ron Rivera, Mr. GM / coach, you said you fixed it. You didn't. That's why you need to go find another job elsewhere. They need to go ahead and relieve you of your duties, and you go ahead and get a job elsewhere. All right, I don't want you to and take Jack Del Rio with you. Take both of you. Like, so.
First of all, Jack Del Rio still coaching at any level is still crazy to me because I remember Jack Del Rio before the Jaguars changed their logo.
Yeah, so
that's too long, bro. You outdated. Bill Belichick, gotta go.
But that's what happened. Like Sam Howell has a lot of talent. Like I see. Basically, I do see Sam Howell needs an like of the chances that I've seen of what I've seen of Sam Howell. I believe in him as being our franchise quarterback. I really do. Now, there's some things that he needs to work on. Like there's some times where he processes things maybe a tad bit slow, or like but those are things that can be coached up. Eric Bieniemy can coach Adam, can coach him up and coach that out of him. All right, but I see a lot. I like a lot what I've seen when he has time to freaking throw. Quarterback, he just needs our head coach / GM, because understand Ron Rivera's the one making the decisions. He's the one who put this whole team together. And speaking of DJ Moore getting over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns against us, well, guess what? That was mainly on our pick, Mr. Emmanuel Forbes, right? The guy who was the scheme fit, even though we should have drafted Christian Gonzalez. Now, people are going to be like, oh, Christian Gonzalez is now hurt. He's on IR, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, it does not change the fact that we drafted the wrong cornerback, and I said that the moment we literally did a live draft podcast, and I was like, it was the wrong pick. I'm like, why didn't we pick Christian Gonzalez? I said this on the podcast as we were picking him. And guess what? At this point, I'd rather have hurt Christian Gonzalez because either way, Emmanuel Forbes is not helping. He literally got benched. And our defense, and the only reason, yes, and our cornerbacks played better. St. Jude's played better against DJ Moore than he did the entire game. Because most of DJ Moore's yards came when he was head up against Emmanuel Forbes. Because when Justin Fields saw that, he was just like Jalen Hurts did the week prior. Oh, you're gonna man cover AJ Brown against Emmanuel Forbes? Oh, that's as Shaq said, that's barbecue chicken. So I'm like, that's also on the defensive coordinator, and you see that Emmanuel Forbes really is not that good, and hopefully, honestly, he needs to stay benched, because the fact that St. Just was doing a whole hell of a lot better job than you were, and the thing is, you were supposed to help improve our secondary, and honestly, our secondary was better when you were off the field.
He is a rookie though, but maybe he's in the wrong position. Maybe I should start him at quarterback, like Carolina. We like short quarterback. Trying to make that work.
He needs to. Right now, he doesn't need to be starting. He doesn't need to be starting at corner.
My last thing that I'm gonna say is it's crazy that the Bears have all this talent on offense and they still have the first 2 picks in this upcoming draft. Imagine Justin Fields with DJ Moore and Marvin Harrison Jr. What? Okay, all right. I digress.
Man, I hated this game on so many levels. That's why watching the Cowboys lose on Sunday night felt so just so much better. But let's go ahead and talk about the Monday night game, the last Monday night game. By the way, we are recording this podcast on Thursday, October 12th at 7:21 p.m. Just in case, once again, for those people out there. We're going to go ahead and talk about last Monday night's game, this past Monday night's game, the Packers and the Raiders. So, Q, how did you feel about watching this game, man?
It's a good game. I'm still, I don't know. The post Aaron Rodgers era. It's going to be a little bit shaky. The team has a lot of holes in it, but at the same time, they are still a little bit disappointing. Jordan Love, he's had how many seasons? 3-4 seasons to sit behind one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And now when he's still placed in the game, he still look like he's unprepared. He still look like he doesn't know how to make the right reads on his throws. Just just the consistency and the relationship between the receivers doesn't look like it's there. Defense isn't too bad, so really that just seems like the game, and the Raiders aren't great either. Don't get me wrong, that team is not great either. So I feel like a game between two middling teams trying to figure it out. The Raiders and Jimmy G, he lost his spot and had to get kicked out from due to Brock Purdy. So teams, two new quarterbacks, and they still just try to figure it out. That's what both of those teams remind me of. That I don't think either team really has a shot at playoffs really, but they're both trying to figure it out. I still want to see if Jordan Love has a little bit more than he's offered, but as of now, this is just who they are.
All right, KJ, how did you feel?
Yeah, it's not looking good for Green Bay. It's not looking terrible for them. But Jordan Love, you threw 3 interceptions against the Raiders defense. That's not good. That's not good. Their defense is trash, bro. Like, now, mind you, Max Crosby is that deal. That man is everywhere. Everywhere. I didn't know he was that good. But at the same time, y'all only scored 13 points against the Raiders defense. Like, come on, get it together. But then for the Raiders, that's I'm not giving y'all no props, because how Josh Jacobs rushed. Yeah, he rushed for 69 yards and a touchdown, but that's on 20 carries. 69 yards on 20 carries. That offensive line is putrid. And then y'all have an injury-prone quarterback at Jimmy G. I don't know. I ain't, like I said at the beginning of the season, I'm not looking Vegas' way at all. No time this season. And Devontae Adams didn't even go off. Like, come on, man. Yeah, it's like you said. These are two middling teams, just making their way, moseying on.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I didn't watch this game whatsoever. Like, the game literally, like, what you both summarized what the game is. I'm like, okay, this game pretty much happened the way I predicted it's going to go, because I just looked. Okay, you got all right. I didn't watch the game. I'm sorry, sports fans out there. I'm sorry, football fans. I just looked. I looked at the Raiders, looked at the Packers, and I was like, yeah, two middling teams. I'm like, that's 2 middling teams. Like, this game is going to go. I'm like, this game's going to go. Both teams are going to probably try to give each other the game, and that's pretty much what happened. Both teams tried to give each other the game, and one just had to unfortunately win. So you like I said, you got the Raiders with a quarterback in Jimmy G, who's I know I've defended him on this podcast. I know I have, but he's a quarterback. He's a quarterback that he's just a competent quarterback, which means that you're not going to win because of him. And he needs a team around him that helps make him better, basically.
Like the Niners.
Like, exactly.
Go back in time. That's what he needs to do.
Exactly. Like, that's why the Niners were so perfect for him. You have the infrastructure there where, okay, he can be good, but he's not. If you take Jimmy G, put him on a team where, all right, you're gonna have to raise your level so you can raise the ceiling of our football team. No, he's not gonna do that. He's not a Patrick Mahomes. He's not a Josh Allen. He's not a Joe Burrow. He's not. You know, I would even. He's not a Justin Herbert, a Tua, a Jalen Hurts. Like,
he's not even a Kirk Thuggins.
Yeah, he's not even a Kirk Cousins. Like, he's. I'm not saying he's a garbage quarterback. He's just like I said, he's just a competent one. He's like
Jones era.
No, he's better than Daniel Jones. Whoa, he's a couple tiers under that. But he's like a better version of a Trent Dilfer. That's the best way I can put it. A competent quarterback, but if he has a great team around him, okay, he can win. He can win you some. He's gonna win you a lot of games. A lot of games. But if you're asking him to raise the ceiling of your football team, if you're asking him to go out, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. And now with Jordan Love, I've kind of he's had a couple good games, couple bad games, and then this one. So I don't really know what to make of Jordan Love. I'm still gonna believe him. I'm still gonna believe in him. Like now, is it crazy to ask for a franchise to hit on back to back Hall of Fame quarterbacks? That didn't even happen for the 49ers, who first had Joe Montana, then Steve Young, and then what happened afterwards? They just kind of had a revolving door at quarterback. All right, and honestly, they still been looking for now. We may Brock Purdy may be their franchise quarterback now, but overall afterwards they had the Alex Smith. They tried Alex Smith, who was solid, but really wasn't the franchise quarterback you really wanted.
He was like Kirk Cousins before Kirk Cousins.
Exactly.
A little more mobile though. A little more mobile.
So yeah. Yes. So with the Packers, are you the bar was Hall of Fame quarterback, but maybe Packers fans and us as sports fans need to maybe lower down that bar, because how likely is it that a team drafts 3 straight franchise quarterbacks in a row? Remember, the Packers have not had to worry about the quarterback position in about over 30 years. Because you had Brett Favre for like 20 years. Then you had Aaron Rodgers for like 15 years. So you really haven't had to worry about a franchise quarterback really since 1992. From 1992 to 2022. So yeah, 30 years. And in some cases, that's like 3 generations of people right there. You have not had to worry about a quarterback. Worry about the quarterback position. How likely is it that you would strike lightning will strike 3 straight times? How likely that happens? So
it's not looking likely.
Yeah, exactly. So but yeah, this game was, and I predicted wrong too. I had the Packers winning. You know, the only game I predicted right was the 49ers and Cowboys. I was wrong with the rest of them. But hey, I was right with the only one that mattered. That's all that matters. But next game we go ahead and talk about is the Jaguars at the Bills. The Jaguars traveling to, the Jaguars are, it's a home game for the Jaguars. All right, we all know this. But Q, how'd you feel about watching this London game?
Q, you are now in London. How do you feel about the game?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, we hear you perfectly, man.
All right, I'm back in the business. All right, y'all was. So I'm having some difficulties on my end.
It's no problem.
Catch me back up.
Now we're in London. London with the Jaguars and the Bills.
We are in London.
Chopping it up like that.
Okay, I did enjoy the game with some nice cup of tea. And
cup of tea.
I'm sorry. Let me not get canceled over here.
Please, man, we can never get canceled.
Jaguars and Bills. Yes. That is actually a really good game. The Jaguars are surprising me a little bit. They are showing some signs of life, I feel like. They are a rapidly improving team. I think they still have Peterson as coach, if I'm correct.
Yeah, Doug Peterson.
Yeah, Doug Peterson. Yeah. He has turned that team around so much from the short but absolutely wonderful era of Urban Meyer. So he's turned that team around a lot. They got him bowling. they still have some holes. They aren't perfect, but they have talent on, I feel like, both sides of the ball. Trevor Lawrence he's a really good quarterback. He's proven that he deserved to be, what is he, number one pick, or it was top 3, I believe. He's shown that he deserved to be a pick. They
Oh yeah,
absolutely
Trevor Lawrence was number 1.
Yeah, he was the number one pick. So yeah, he deserved to be the number one pick. He is the Jaguars quarterback of the future. He's a franchise QB. I fully believe that. Travis Etienne, probably one of the best backs in the league. They have a solid defense right now, so they are really good. I like the Jaguars. I do. I like that team. I think, if not this year, I think next year they can start making some really like noise. The Bills, on the other hand, Josh Allen, I feel like at this point, I don't know if it's just struggling. I don't know if teams start to figure him out a little bit more, but he's not just looking like the bona fide superstar QB that everybody has been, talking him up to be.
Not your MVP, Ramil.
I'm going to. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. We're going to get to that. Don't worry.
We might have I might have a little bit of pushback, but I don't know. I don't know what to expect of that team. I really thought they were better than what they were last year. I thought they would have been supposed to be in the Super Bowl last year, but they showed up in the snow and just got bulldozed, snowplowed, if you will. So, yeah, we'll see what's going on with the team. It was ultimately a good game, and only lost by 5, so it was a good game though too. But I'm not surprised with the Jaguars. I think they're the team to watch out for coming up.
Well, all I'm gonna say is, will the real Josh Allen please stand up? Josh Allen on the defensive side of the Jacksonville, well, the London Jaguars, as they are formerly known as. He didn't do much, but I always think it's funny when they gotta play each other. But speaking of defense, I think that's really the main problem with Buffalo this season, because what's this man named, the Red Cam Newton chance of having a Super Bowl? I don't like him. Von Miller. Von Miller got hurt. He's been hurt all year. They've been losing other key pieces on their defense, especially like in their linebacker core. They lost Tre'Davious White, I think, last week. So their defense is kind of hurting a little bit. Josh Allen is doing all that he can, muscling his way through football games per usual. Obviously hooking up with his best buddy, Stephon Diggs. But again, like we talking about, the golden boy Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars offense, that's the show. That's what they're looking like, what we're expecting to see from that offense with a Calvin Ridley, with a Christian Kirk. Zay Jones is hurt right now, but what's his name? Travis Etienne. I think that was the perfect thing that they could have done when they drafted Trevor Lawrence, was draft his running mate in college. Literally.
True.
Because if we watching Trevor Lawrence in college, a lot of his plays came from Etienne, like that. So yeah, they were really smart by doing that. And I just think that bringing in Calvin Ridley, especially he had a year off, fresh legs, that was a great asset for them, bro. And I really hope that the Jaguars do good, because I remember a time when Maurice Jones-Drew and all of them was running, and Fred Taylor was running through Jacksonville, and it was a good time in the league. So
David Garrard.
Yeah. Oh, bro, that was one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. But yeah. So I'm honestly surprised that the Jacksonville Jaguars won, though, because I did think that the Bills were gonna beat them. So it's kind of bad that It's kind of bad that the Bills lost, because now they don't have home field advantage. Should they need it? Not home. The tiebreaker, should they need it? But y'all knew Jacksonville. They're not gonna let Jacksonville lose in London. They're not.
I'm going to say this. All right. First of all, am I a little bit? I did pick the Bills to win. My MVP, Josh Allen. He.
Talk about it.
They kind of disappointed me, especially in the first half. The Bills really didn't turn it on to the second half, but it was kind of, they were fighting an uphill battle the whole time, and the Jaguars just maintained control of the whole game. To be perfectly honest, once again, like you mentioned, Trevor Lawrence looked great. He's a guy that I said he was an MVP candidate for me before the season started. All right. Of course, they kind of stumbled out the gates a little bit, the first 2-3 games, but now you're seeing the Jaguars look like they're gaining their footing. They probably needed to go to their actual home venue, which is London. As you see, they I'm telling you, London Jaguars. London Jaguars.
They need to put a monocle on their what's it called when they go over there.
They're going to move the Jaguars to London. I'm sorry, Jacksonville. They had to go to their real home. That's their real home home field. But anyway,
they just testing out the market over there. I see.
Exactly. No, but what happened week 1, people? Week 1, my MVP, Josh Allen, minor setback. And this is another minor setback to a major comeback. All right, this is my MVP. My MVP, Josh Allen. Y'all keep on. Y'all can hate on him if y'all want to. Y'all can doubt him if y'all want to. I am not getting off this bandwagon. You thought I was gonna budge just off of one little minor setback? No. If I didn't get off the bandwagon in week 1, ain't no way I'm getting off the bandwagon now. All right, I'm riding this bandwagon until week 18 in the NFL. All right, I'm riding this bandwagon. Okay, I don't care about him being on the cover of Madden in the Madden curse. He's my MVP. My MVP, Josh Allen, for a reason. All this game is another minor setback to another major comeback. All right, and the real Josh Allen is the one wearing 17, wearing the Buffalo Bills uniform. The other one that's with the Jaguars, he's irrelevant. Woo! All right, I'm done.
Together for a team that lost.
It's okay.
Maybe they will have retribution because next week they play the Nets. So
yeah, it's all right. My MVP, Josh Allen. That's all I have to say about this game. Let's go ahead and move on.
Put that on.
Exactly. Let's go ahead and move on to another team that disappointed, and I'm talking about your Baltimore Ravens. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie, KJ. Keeping it 10 toes. There's always a small part of me that bears a little bit of hatred for the Baltimore Ravens. That's because they try to.
Because we're the better team.
No, it's because you have tried to take our state away from us. We are the team in Maryland.
No, you're not. Well, y'all do got more Super Bowl. How many Super Bowls y'all got? 3?
3.
I guess.
No, but let's all right.
We got 2 this century. I'm just gonna say that.
I'm gonna be honest. Y'all have been the better team in the state of Maryland for the last 20-25 years. All right, but that's because we've had a bad owner for 20.
Y'all should have kicked it. Y'all should have vetoed him out 24 years ago.
Listen, That's NFL is a business. All right, as long as Dan Snyder was making them green and keeping their palms greased, they were fine. The only reason why they forced to sell the team because Dan Snyder was starting to bring a bad name to the league. And the league's like, oh, y'all, you can't make us look good. We already look bad already. We can't make us look worse. So yeah.
So let me tell you who was not doing their jobs. The wide receivers. Bro,
oh yeah, man.
Lamar Jackson, bro. Let me tell you something. Lamar Jackson is doing his everlasting everything. He is not one of them players that's out here getting a bag and now he's lackadaisical. No, he's still Lamar Jackson. But a quarterback cannot win a game if his receivers do not catch the ball. I understand
True.
on the stat sheet it looks like he missed 16 passes, but if we're being honest, he missed 7 wide. He didn't miss 7. He didn't miss 7 of those passes. 7 of those wide open passes where the receiver's hand hit the ball wide open. 2 of those were in the end zone, bruh. We lost by a touchdown. 2 of them were in the end zone. One of them was going for a score. First of all, like we're talking about the preseason in our teams now. When we picked up Nelson Aguilar, I was like, why on earth? Why on earth? That would be like me going to a stable, picking a horse to win a race, but I know the horse got a broke leg. The horse can't run without a leg, Kenneth. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm saying all that to say I am very displeased with his catching abilities on wide open 50-yard touchdown runs. It was really a bad day for all of them. Like, he dropped one. I think Bateman dropped another one, and Mark Andrews dropped another fade in the end zone. So like, when Mark Andrews dropped a touchdown, I was like, okay,
Yeah,
it's a bad day. Yeah, maybe it's just a bad day. Let me calm down. But I'm still mad. But yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson can only do what. Imagine if he caught like maybe one of those, and he has 300 yards in a touchdown. We might win the game.
just might. Honestly, no, not that's not a might. That's a do.
But honestly, I confidently picked the Ravens to win because I did not think Kenny Pickett was going to play this game. I thought he was hurt. But him and George Pickens, yeah. I hate the Steelers, but I love that duo. I'm going, yeah, they nice.
They definitely got a wavelength.
And to not bag on the Steelers, congratulations to y'all. I had to shake my father's hand. That's a very humbling experience for a grown man. But at the same time,
your dad's a Steelers fan?
Yeah, that's why I'm a Ravens fan. He used to grow up. We used to watch the games together and everything like that. And the most intense games I would ever see would be the Ravens and the Steelers when Ray Lewis and Troy Polamalu and stuff would play. And so he was getting hyped for the Steelers. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for the Ravens. I like their colors. So I've been a Ravens fan. And then luckily I was like, oh, okay, we got Ray Lewis, Eric Reed, okay. But what was I going to say? Yeah, my real shout out for this game. Shout out to Kenny Pickett for not being Kenny picked up.
But Q, how about this game? How did you feel?
Hey, how about Lamar? Everything that you complained about, Mr. Kenneth, it's just everything of his own doing. You know why?
What?
Once
Tell me.
You get paid, and I get it. Get paid, young man, get paid.
Hey.
Get paid, young man, get paid.
Get paid.
That's what Lamar Jackson did. And guess what? Everybody else gets pennies. When everybody else gets pennies, that's what you're left with.
But he got paid after the pennies was distributed.
But this is the future of the Ravens at this point. You have you got nobody else. You don't have any receivers. You don't.
We got Zay Flowers. He's cool.
He's all right. He's okay. But still, this is what you got to work with. So the Ravens are going to be a little bit held back. And not to mention Lamar, and I like Lamar. I'm a Lamar fan. But I'm starting to wonder if his MVP year was a little bit of a fluke because he's not been as dominant ever since then.
That's because his receivers was catching the ball.
Trend. Exactly, but he's been on a slightly downward trend. So at what point do we talk about is he maybe getting figured out? Have the defense coordinators figured him out already? Has he already hit his peak? I don't know, but when he loses to a team like the Steelers and with Kenny picked off, as he said, Still,
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. The Steelers are good though. They got Kenny picked off. They got George Pickens. They have terrible running backs, but their defense is fire.
yeah, the defense fire. Defense fire, but it's mainly that offense. Its offense is a laughing stock right now.
Yeah.
So
this is just like
know.
we talk about in the Big Ten. This is Big Ten football. This is AFC North football.
Yeah.
Real good defenses, shaky offenses.
this is what we got. But I don't know. They still might get together. Ravens. I predict the Ravens are probably going to finish probably about a 8-8, 9-7.
Hot take. Okay.
That's what I got for them. Yeah.
Well, didn't I predict them like 17 game season? I think I predicted them to be like 9-8.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I predicted them to be third in the division and the Steelers to be 1 and the Bengals to be 2. At first, I was looking wrong for the first 4, but now I'm just joking. But I'm going to. This game was, and I knew this game is going to make Lamar haters who just look at the stat line. They're going to say, "Oh, look, Lamar cannot throw." But I'm like, when you throw to wide open receivers and they drop like 7-8 balls, I mean, what can he do? Like he can't run up and place the ball in their hands. I mean,
he's fast enough. He could try it, but
yeah, exactly. Now, to Q's point, is Lamar getting figured out? I don't like. We have to ask why hasn't he looked so dominant in the last few? And honestly, I would say the year after, I would say more. It's more injuries than his actual play, because last season, at the beginning of last season, he was looking like his MVP self, and then he got hurt, and then his receivers got hurt, then his running backs got hurt. And then, like, the people on defense got hurt. The Ravens really have, over the past, really after Lamar Jackson's MVP season, that whole team, like not just him, but just that whole team has been hurt for the better part, really every single year since his MVP season. Even this year, J.K. Dobbins out for the year. I think there was another one of your running backs out for the year as well. I forgot who.
Nah, I think it's just JK.
Oh, just JK. But your starting running back, the guy you're going to, bam, out for the year.
Right. We were hoping on Odell. Odell has no knees.
Yeah, but remember, Odell began out slowly with the Rams. Remember when he came back, he didn't start like really picking it back up until like the later end of the season. So. Yes, Odell's got to play, because you're talking about an Odell who is coming off of an injury, an ACL injury at that, and has not played for a full calendar year. Actually, more than that, longer than that. Yeah. Has not played in over a year.
And he's like 30.
Yeah, exactly. So how much were you really going to expect out of Odell? Even though you paid him $15 million, you're expecting him to expecting a lot out of him, but and then he dropped some balls too. So you were asking, and then you have a rookie. Do y'all still have Duvernay?
Yeah, but Duvernay, he had a target and no receptions. So, Bateman has been hurt this year as well. We spent the whole first rounder on him. He's looking like a bust.
And so you really the only two consistent real receivers you have on the team is your rookie Zay Flowers and your tight end. Mark Andrews. And what happened to Isaiah Likely? I don't.
We still believe in you, Isaiah.
You only have two consistent receivers on your roster. Then, adding the fact that you have a Lamar Jackson who's throwing to these guys and they're dropping passes. So, what do you like? But then you're gonna have a whole bunch of all these Lamar haters saying, "Oh yeah, he's being figured out," or he's garbage. He cannot throw. But I'm like, who does he have to throw to? Does he have? See, the Eagles got Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. Does he have that? No. The Bears got Justin Fields, a DJ Moore. Does he have that? No. The Bills got Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Does Lamar have that? No. All these quarterbacks were running quarterbacks. All these quarterbacks I've named were running quarterbacks, but their teams got them a number one wide receiver. Justin Fields has looked better for these last couple weeks. Josh Allen has gotten better because of the addition of Stephon Diggs. Then you've got Jalen Hurts, who's gotten better because of the addition of A.J. Brown. What did the Ravens really add? Did they really add Lamar a number one receiver? Yes, they gave him a Zay Flowers who has the potential of being a number one receiver, but you're asking a rookie to be a number one wide receiver right off the bat. That how many times has that happened in the NFL? Not a lot.
I'll tell you. I'll say this. To Q's point, you did scare me a little bit when you said that this is our future. But Zay Flowers is a rookie. Zay Flowers has been playing nice as a rookie. So if we got Lamar Jackson for another extra 5 years, you know what I'm saying, or 4 years, how many years was that contract? 3?
I think he got like a 5-6 year extension.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. We just got to keep drafting receivers because we're not going to be able to spend no money there.
Yeah.
Hopefully they stay up.
Hopefully. But yeah, but I say, Zay Flowers has been, he's been good, but like you're expecting him to be like Odell in 2014 or Randy Moss in 98, like those type of seasons, and those seasons the reason why they're so special because they don't really happen like that with rookie wide receivers. But let's leave it there. The last game we're going to talk about from last week is the Chiefs at the Vikings. So, Q, how did you feel about this game?
The Vikings seem like the most unluckiest team in the league right now. They aren't a bad team. They just can't win football games. They just can't seem to get it together. Trying to pull up their schedule, but almost, if I remember correctly, all of the games, or most of the games, have been close. And the Chiefs, you know what the Chiefs are. That's defending Super Bowl champs. They are set, as always. Patrick Mahomes continues to be the best quarterback in the league. That is not changing, so we know who they are. The Vikings, they finished last season, what was something like 11-6, I believe, or 12-5. Had a really good year.
Yeah, I think they were like 12-5. I think they might have won 13 games, honestly. 13-3.
Yeah. So they had a really good year, and if I remember correctly, even last year they had a weird season where they had multiple games where they won by like 3 points or less. I know. Right. I can remember the Bills game comes to mind, and that crazy ending there, or with the Colts and Mr. Matt Ryan giving up another 28-3 lead. So the Vikings, they are a weird team. They just unlucky. Kirk Cousins, I like Kirk. He's a good quarterback. I do. I like him. I like that. But they're just unlucky. That's how I see them. And they're just gonna, I don't know. And with their unluck, they just lost Justin Jefferson. I forget the injury, but he's gonna be out multiple weeks. I don't know if he's out for the season, but he's out for a while. So their luck, because Jefferson was the only thing keeping them afloat right now, and so their luck is gone even more. And maybe instead of getting to 12-5 or 13-4, they might just get the opposite end of that, because they're falling to 1-4 right now, and it's not looking too good for them right now. But the Chiefs they about to go to about their 5th straight AFC championship, maybe.
All right, KG, how do you feel while watching this game, sir?
Yeah, my bad. I'm trying to look up this the injury. Um, I'll come back with that. They're saying it's a hamstring. So the point I was gonna make is so yeah, it's very unfortunate that Justin Jefferson is out. They actually put him on IR, so he's gonna miss about at least 4 games. He has to. So he's gonna be out for a good amount of time. But the thing about the Vikings, like, again, Q, you're making a lot of good points. I like that. Yeah, you're helping me out. The thing about one of Q's points was that they won a lot of games last year, about 3 points or less. And a couple other teams that I could think about last year did that same thing, like the Raiders and the Panthers. And we see all of those teams now are one win or if not winless. Panthers. So I think that's more of like to me that feels like when a team blows another team out, and then the next week they just get trampled on. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that, but in season terms. But the thing about the Vikings is they throw the ball a lot. Like I was kind of worried, like what y'all gonna do without Dalvin Cook, but y'all don't really run the ball anyway. So they went out and drafted a receiver. Now Addison is doing pretty good. He's actually been contesting KJ Osborne for number 2. So they're gonna, and they still have TJ Hawkinson. So you know what I'm saying? I think that them missing Justin Jefferson is huge, but I think that they are a passing offense, so they're gonna figure it out.
True.
But are y'all good enough to beat the Chiefs? Not with that defense, and y'all can't run the ball. Nah, man, absolutely not. I thought they were gonna win. I was a little nervous. I was like, okay, but no, you're not gonna beat Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are like one of those teams that you just don't worry about the first half of the season. And then you start paying attention to them because they're like, okay, they about to turn it on. They're going to get really good. The first 9 games, they're not going to be middling out, but they're going to be, hold on, excuse me. They're not going to be middling out, but they're going to get, a feel for the team, a feel for their offense, a feel for their defense is starting to come back on. I should have picked them up in fantasy. Yeah, there is no way that the Vikings were going to beat the Chiefs. So good luck to them boys. They don't have to worry about. What did they start? 0-3. They don't have to worry about going to the playoffs anymore. So.
Well, the Vikings are 1-4 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I picked the Vikings. I mean, I just thought this was going to be a game where the Vikings kind of kept it close and then pulled it out. Shows you. This is why I went 1-5 this past week. It's okay. They're not a good Vegas day at all. Not for MC Ron here. But I mean, there's nothing much more to add to this game, though. I did like that throw that catch. Well, I would say more about that catch that Watson made for the Chiefs. I forgot his first name. Keep on forgetting his first name. I want to say I know it's not Christian. That's the Packers wide receiver, but
Justin Watson.
Oh yeah, Justin Watson. Thank you, Q. Thank you. Yeah. That catch he made over that defender, that was like he mossed him because honestly that was kind of a bad throw by Patrick Mahomes. But of course, people were going to say that. I heard I think it was Tony Romo saying that. Oh no, that pass, that catch was on. Like no, that was a bad throw by Patrick Mahomes. Okay, the receiver just made him look better. Okay, so let's be honest, people. Let's not be on Patrick Mahomes' nuts too much. But anyway, but yeah, I agree with everything that you all are saying. There's nothing really anything new I have to add about this game. Yeah, the Vikings are a very unlucky franchise. And to both of your points have how last year they had a lot of close games. They won a lot of close games, a lot of single-digit games. And guess what? Now the reverse is happening, that they're losing all those close games. So But the thing is, the Vikings are not a bad team, though. It's crazy that they're not really a bad team. They're just, as you said, as we all agree, that they're just unlucky. That's it. But one thing I would actually have to add, though, what is it about the Vikings and being able to draft good rookie wide receivers like Randy Moss, Justin Jefferson, now Jordan Addison?
Hey, people be talking about the Steelers wide receiver talent. Nah, man, the Vikings.
Yeah, like, and then before they had, they drafted Stephon Diggs, right. and they picked up Adam Thielen off of he was an undrafted free agent if I'm correct.
Yeah, dang, we need them eyes in Carolina.
Yeah, like
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Could y'all imagine Lamar Jackson and Justin Jefferson?
Oh man,
that would be beautiful.
But I can't imagine them in New Orleans.
No, really, all three of them just need to go. All the LSU dudes just need to go play for the play for the Saints.
Nothing will make me happy.
Just imagine Joe Burrow in New Orleans with Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Joe Cool and the Saints. Come on, man.
Come back to where it started.
But speaking of the Saints, I know this is not a game we predicted, but I want to ask you, Q, how did you feel about your Saints beating the living crap out of the Patriots and making Bill Belichick look like a old coach?
Boy, oh boy, oh boy! I've been waiting all day for this. Woo! Woo! And Mr. MC Ron, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
When I say who that, you say who that.
Nah, I can't do that, man. Yeah, I ain't no Saints fan, man.
Okay. If you're not going to participate, Mr. Kenneth, do me a favor. When I say
I'm
who
from
that,
North Carolina.
You say who that. Right? Who that?
I say what?
Who that?
All right.
Nope, y'all not participating. Somebody in the audience is going to participate with me. It's all good. Who that said going to beat them Saints? That's all I know. What is it, 34-0 against Bill Belichick and the Patriots? I'll tell you something. Back in the day when we used to play the Patriots, that used to be a fearsome game.
Back in the day.
We used to fear that game. Nobody wanted to go and play the Patriots. That was the game's like, okay, you got to do that. But 34-0 against Bill Belichick, I don't think in my life before the season I've ever seen the Patriots lose that bad.
I think the only time that's ever happened to Belichick, the only other time that's ever happened to Belichick was his first season with the Patriots.
Yeah, and that was before Tom Brady himself.
Right.
Exactly.
Tom Brady.
And when I started watching football, Tom Brady was already playing, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it though. Our coach Dennis Allen, I was really hard on him last year, but I'm kind of warming up to him a bit now. Last year we had a lot of struggles. This is, I believe, year 3 in our post-Drew era. Our franchise GOAT, Drew Brees. This, I believe, year 3 in his post era, and we've had a little bit of some struggles in between trying to play. Okay, are we going to start Taysom Hill? Okay, all right, we're going to bring in James Winston. Okay, he gets hurt. Okay, how about this guy Trevor Siemian? Okay, he's absolutely terrible. Okay, we're going to bring in Andy Dalton, and he hasn't played in 3 years, and he's just about okay. Yeah. Then Alvin Kamara, he gets to a fight with some dudes in Vegas, and he has to miss a bunch of games. And sure enough, while hanging out in Vegas, he must have convinced old Derek Carr to come on down. And I like him. He's turned, I don't want to say turned the team around, but he has us on the right path, because whether you realize or not, the last 3 years, even in the post-Drew era, we have not had a bad team. Our defense has been straight. That's one thing you can't say anything about it. So our defense is cool. Our defense handles business. It's just the offense has always been inconsistent. We have not had a quarterback that can take us anywhere, even if we've had good running game. with Mark Ingram, previously Alvin Kamara, and whoever else in the backfield. We have a good running game, but our inconsistent quarterback play, that can make or break a team. Andy Dalton, James Winston, Taysom Hill, they wasn't getting it done. Derek Carr, he looks good. His only real bad game, pretty much, look at it this way. The 2 games that we lost was, number 1, he got hurt. And I think that's when if I'm correct, was the Falcons or maybe somebody else. And they came back and beat us with James Winston. And then the next game we lost, that's when Derek Carr, he couldn't throw downfield past 5 yards because he had a shoulder injury that he probably should have sat out. So now, with them coming back in, feeling a little bit better, I love it. 2 touchdowns, and this team, we rolling. And at this point, we might be the team that forces Bill Belichick to retire. And I'll take it. I'm feeling good.
Honestly, and you forgot to mention another quarterback that y'all tried for one game, Ian Book. That whole experience.
Yeah, don't mind me.
But that is it for week 5 in the books, because we gotta speed things along. We gotta speed this up. So we're gonna now go into our week 6, and you know how we always start with every week, our new week in the NFL with our weekly pick 6. We got 6 games up on the docket, and we're gonna first start off with tonight's game. That's probably kicking off now, or if not, probably in the next 10-15 minutes. The Broncos at the Chiefs. So, Q, who do you think is going to win this game? Oh, put him on the spot.
Well, I don't know what happened to Jake, but I definitely will go ahead and say that the Chiefs, it's the new guard versus the old guard, and the old guard just finna get washed away. That shield is tarnished. It's not good. It's not a good product. Y'all got lucky by beating the Bears. Extremely lucky by beating the Bears. Y'all will not have such luck in Chiefdom. And it's the Chiefs are at home. I don't care if Travis Kelce not playing. Y'all not gonna lose when Taylor Swift is in the building. No, the Swifties won't allow it. If Russell Wilson start cooking, they're gonna literally go in there and ruin the pot. They're gonna come
exactly
and be like, cut the game off and start over.
No, Travis cannot lose. No, but Q, you up?
Okay.
I'm in, Travis.
Y'all did not hear me that whole time. I was on mute.
Yep, man. It's okay though.
Technical difficulties.
But who you got? Broncos at Chiefs.
Broncos at Chiefs. I am rolling with none other than the Denver Broncos.
What?
Hey,
you gotta explain
think
this.
They're gonna win. I do not think they're gonna win. That was a big joke.
I'm gonna say, man, you have to
look. You let that go a little long.
No.
Pause. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, hold on, is he mean this?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to explain this. I'm like, hey, wait, you might be able to sell me on this.
That side eye was heavy, dog. My eye could have dropped out the socket.
Nah, I can't defend that one. Against somebody else, I think the Broncos going to get together. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the Broncos are going to finish as the worst team in the league. I don't.
Are they going to get it together sometime within Russell Wilson's contract?
Yes, they will. No, they will. Okay. I'm saying they're going to turn around before the end of this year. And they're not going to be the worst team in the league that like they're looking at. They're not going to make the playoffs, but I think they can finish with maybe about 6-7 wins. I think they can do that. I do. So, and I'm a Sean Payton guy. You know why. So I think the Broncos turn around, and Russell Wilson is not as bad as y'all are making him out to be. He's not done. He's not through yet. So they're not gonna win tonight because it's the Chiefs. You're not gonna beat the Chiefs unless you're a good team. So we got that established. But all I'm saying is don't write off the Denver Broncos just yet. That's all I'm saying.
in that vein, Q, and that's why I believe this game is going to be a lot closer than people actually are going to anticipate. People are going to think that this is going to be a 20-point blowout for the Chiefs. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people actually are going to expect. I think this game is probably going to get into the fourth quarter but I still believe the Chiefs are going to win. I got the Chiefs winning 28-21. I believe Russell Wilson's going to play, and I believe they're going to play. The Broncos are going to play relatively well, but like I said, that Broncos defense is a Vance Joseph special, and by Vance Joseph special, I mean that they're horrible. So, but yeah, and because of that, that's going to be the main difference, and that's why I got Chiefs 28-21. The next game we're going to go ahead and predict is the Giants at the Bills. So, KJ, who do you got?
The G-Man! Okay. Josh Allen is going to go up in there and rip the N from the G. It's separated like the Red Sea.
I knew you were trolling me when you said G. I'm like, don't troll me.
I just told y'all that the Giants are the worst team in the league. You think I'm going to pick them against Josh Allen? Absolutely not. Josh Allen is leading. Josh Allen is leading in like 7 quarterback statistical categories this year, right now.
My MVP.
Absolutely not. Yeah, whatever. He gonna be the MVP of this game, but we gonna keep that rolling. Yeah, definitely. And they're in Buffalo. Come on. I mean, I guess that's still the same state, but the Bills are the real team in New York.
True. Q, who do you got?
I'm rolling with the Bills. I know. I was giving Josh Allen and the Bills some crap earlier, but against the Giants, it's not really going to matter. They haven't looked good all year. I got to roll with the Bills. My man MC Ron's his MVP.
Exactly, man. You got to roll with my MVP. My MVP, Josh motherfucking Allen. And I'm just going to go ahead and make it a trifecta. Let's go, Bills. Will beat the brakes off of the Giants. I mean, they could have a Nathan Peterman son that quarterback, and they'll still find a way to beat the Giants. All right, because that's how bad the Giants are. But
technically, they do have Nathan.
Listen, we're not going to do that to Josh Allen. Listen, you called him Jay Cutler. Now Nathan Peterman.
It keeps getting worse by the week.
Like, this man's white Cam Newton. What are you talking about? But anyway,
he's finna be Sam Bradford next week.
Yeah, whoa. Though, never mind. I'm about to go off a tangent with Sam Bradford. But I got the Bills 30-13. My MVP, once again, minor setback this past week. Major comeback in the next 4 to 5 weeks. All right, so the next game is them Cowgirls against the Chargers. I'm just going to go ahead and get my prediction out the way. Chargers win 28-24. Cowgirls keep on losing, baby. Keep on losing, baby. You think I'm going to predict for Cowgirls to win on this podcast? Not a single time this year. Not unless it's completely painfully obvious. Like if they're going up against the Giants. I have, but anytime else? All right. So, Q, who you got?
How about them Cowboys, baby? I'm picking them Boys. I am. And here's why. I told you, Dak Prescott is inconsistent. He's hot and he's cold. He's up and he's down. He's yes and you no. All of those things. So, last week, 3 picks. Calling it this week. 3 touchdowns. 35-21, Cowboys.
Boo! Okay, sorry. This is a cowboy hating podcast, all right? Well, over this way, me. But
So look. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Some of my favorite players of all time, actually 3 of my four of my favorite players, some of my favorite players of all time, to play for the Chargers. So, needless to say, I've been watching Chargers games for a long time. And that means, I've seen them play, quote unquote, America's team a lot. Though they are losing in the all-time series in recent history, the Chargers have been beating the Cowboys. So I am going to go ahead and go with Justin Herbert and them boys. I think Eckler coming back too. He said he fit 99%, whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Chargers at home.
Smartly going with the Chargers. Though they're not really at home. There's going to be about 90% Cowboys fans in there, I promise you. Because, I don't know what's up with it's with the Rams. No, the same thing with the Rams. The Rams and the Chargers, they moved to LA in that same stadium, and it's always filled with the opposing teams. Like, every home game they have is a road game. Like, that's crazy. But let's go ahead and predict the next game. This game was hard for me to pick. Like, I was waffling back and forth between the two teams. So I may be wrong with my prediction. But the Seahawks at the Bengals. KJ, who you got?
Seahawks, that 12th man finna come through. Well, he's not finna come through because I think are the Seahawks at home?
No, it's Seahawks at Bengals.
Yeah. Well, the 12th man travels. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just feel like Geno Smith is going to get it together. Maybe not say get it together because they're not a bad team. But I don't know. Something tells me that they're going to beat the Bengals this time.
All right, Q, who you got?
I got to go for the Bengals. I have to. They have to. Seahawks looking good. And don't get me wrong. Seahawks are good. They are a good team. They have really come along strong in this post-Russell Wilson era.
Geno!
They gambled on Geno Smith. And a guy who I thought before last year, I literally thought he was out of the league. I think he was.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He was a bag. Never mind.
Yeah, so I didn't even know he was still in the league after his Jets era. So they gambled on him, and he's absolutely proven himself. So don't get me wrong, I like the Seahawks, but the Bengals, they are who they are. The Bengals are great. They've came along a little bit slower. They've struggled a little bit this year. Joe Burrow, he's been a little bit hurt, but they're getting better. Last week, they showed that they are still the Cincinnati Bengals. They are not to be messed with. So, the Bengals, they about to turn things around and they about to go on a run. And it's starting with, it's going to start against Seahawks, and they're going to show you that they are still one of the teams to beat in the AFC. Nothing that's changed.
Well, I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, I was waffling between both of these teams. But then I didn't really flip the coin. But I was like, you know what? The difference is the Bengals are at home, so I'm going to go with them. I got the Bengals 24-21. I think it's going to be a close game down to the wire. I think this is going to go down to a game-winning field goal. Like that's how close at this game I believe it's going to be. All right. I am also a believer in Geno Smith. I'm glad that he's having his career renaissance. He's a modern day. I've heard a lot that he's a modern day Rich Gannon. How he was thought off for dead, and then he had I think one or two MVP seasons. No, he would have had one MVP season, or was it two? Either way, I'll look at it. But he's the modern day Rich Gannon, a guy who was written off, but he did not write back. Those are his words, not mine. But still, even though I heaped a lot of praise, I still got the Bengals. As Q said, it looks like they are turning the corner, and the Bengals always start out slow. They've done this last few years with Joe Burrow at the helm. It looks like they're about to hit the turning point. But yeah, so I got Bengals 24-21. Now we're getting to an exciting game we're going to pick. The Saints at the Texans. So, Q, who do you got in this game?
Shall we try this again, fellas? Shall we try this again? When I say who
You
that,
can
what do you say?
I guess who that?
Who that? Thank you,
you can
my
try
friends.
with
Saints by
all your
30.
might.
It says Saints by 30.
But 30.
Yes, yes, sir. Saints by 30.
Is that a real score or are you trolling us?
I am not even sure.
He mean it. He means it. Saints by 30.
Okay. Let me calm down.
No. Don't back down.
Let
Don't
me
back
calm
down.
down.
Never back down. Never back down.
Saints
We've
by
all seen
20.
the movie. Okay.
Oh, really?
Okay. I like that.
All right, you go ahead, KJ.
How dare y'all disrespect my should have been quarterback, CJ Stroud. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say this just to make me feel better about rooting for CJ Stroud since he played for that other team in that other state. His top receiver is Nico Collins. Nico Collins is a Michigan receiver. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I'm definitely going with the Texans. Like I said last week, CJ Stroud is hot. He's out here breaking rookie records. He's out here setting records. And I think he's gonna keep that going. And that defense is nice. That defense is not to be trifled with. Now, Saints offense ain't as bad as people might think, but I think that the Titans are going to pull it out.
You mean Texas?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, because we don't know the health. Like, is Derek Carr 100% healthy? We don't know that. But Q, I'm disappointed in you, man. You, as I follow this podcast, you know we strive for Stroud. We strive for Stroud. Since we strive for Stroud here, we will not pick against CJ Stroud. I will pick the Texans to beat your Saints 27-17. Let's go.
Let me be what's called. Let me give him some credit. CJ Stroud is impressive. He's impressive. I didn't think he would be this good, but he's looking good, and he's impressive. So I want to give him some credit. Still Saints by 20, but CJ Stroud is good. I got to give him his credit.
Don't the Texans have Singletary?
Oh yes.
Went to LSU, didn't he?
Yeah.
But the last game we're going to pick in our weekly pick 6 is the Ravens at the Titans. So KJ, who do you got? Your team or your? Honestly, these are actually your rivals. Honestly, kind of like the Ravens and Titans have kind of been rivals if you actually really think about it.
And I was before I get to that, I'm going to say to your fact check earlier. Rich Gannon had his season when they went to his MVP season when they went to the Super Bowl in 2002.
All right, yeah, I got you.
That was his only way. But yeah, and I was about to say that like they're really like low key our rivals. Like they're an annoying team for us because we beat them last year, but we beat them last time in the playoffs, but. They beat us the time before that in the playoffs. I didn't like that one.
But then y'all beat them the time before that in the playoffs, like when they had Chris Johnson and Lindale White. Remember when they were the number 1 seed?
Yeah, for sure. Chris Johnson was a crazy running back. So like so what kind of makes me like more excited for this game is the fact that it's in London. Let's get it. I'm kind of digging the overseas. I think the next one is the Cardinals at somebody. I think they play in Munich. But yeah, I don't like them. I don't like them a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with my Ravens overseas in London. Let's do it. Ravens in London.
I'm surprised that it's in the Jags for the third straight week. But who do you got, Q?
I'm gonna be honest. Neither team have really impressed me just yet. So I'm looking at this game to see who can impress me. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Titans right now, just out of my gut. But It can kind of go either way. So it'll probably be a really close game. I'll probably give it something like 24-21 Titans.
I think this is going to be a close game as well, relatively close. Uh, as I just highlighted, the Ravens and Titans have been they've been a rivalry. Honestly, the last 20 years, it's not a rivalry as as pronounced as like Ravens Steelers. It's not like that, but it's like a constant rivalry there. It's like those teams always end up finding a way to
like Giants Patriots.
Yeah, exactly. They always find a way to face each other in the playoffs or stuff like that. Like they just find a way. So, in saying that, I think it's gonna end up like a rivalry game, which is gonna be like close, relatively maybe low scoring, like scoring in like the 20s or the teens. So, but I still got the Ravens winning. I got the Ravens winning 23-16. I feel pretty confident about that. I think the Ravens receivers are going to be a little bit embarrassed about their performance. I feel like they're going to play a little bit better than they did last week, and because of that, I think the Ravens are going to win.
They can't get no worse.
Oh, like 8 drops, man. Hit him right in the hands.
Disgusting.
But that is it for our weekly pick six. We definitely cannot wait to watch all of these games. I really just can't believe you, Q. Saints by 20 though. Like really?
I'm holding on strong. Holding on.
All right.
Keeping it 10 toes on his answer.
I'm keeping it 10 toes. 10 toes.
Definitely. But let's get into a little bit of college football. Now, there are a couple of matchups that have interested me, but on your side, Q, how do you feel about your LSU Tigers this season? And Brian Kelly, your coach.
You know how excited I am for the Saints? I am the exact opposite on my Tigers right now. I am the opposite. Oh, it's been a struggle. Our offense is really good, and I don't know if you've watched LSU, but I am accustomed to the Les Miles era, where we have the best defense in the league in college football, but our offense can only score about 10 points a game. Well, now it's the exact opposite. We have one of the best offenses in the league. I'll probably say behind Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels might be the second best quarterback. But our defense, everybody can score 50 on us. That's just what it is. So I'm not excited. We got Auburn this week, and Auburn's not a great team either. Hugh Freeze in his first year. So we might be able to get them. As long as we can score about 40-plus points, we can win the game. If we score less than 40, then we lose.
I knew it was over for y'all when y'all lost to Florida State. I was like, oh, man, okay.
That was a traumatizing game for me. Don't bring that back.
But yeah, I did watch a little bit of your LSU Tigers. What's it like? Your quarterback, JT Daniels. That's his first name. I hope I got it right.
Yep.
Jaden Daniels. Sorry. Why I'm thinking JT? This Jaden Daniels, but he came from Arizona State. Honestly, he looks better with LSU than he did at Arizona State, in my opinion. But yeah, it looks like your LSU Tigers were a little bit overrated. But I'm sorry, I don't.
Harsh.
No, I'm just saying.
At least if they prove that they are the real Tigers in the SEC.
True.
Hey,
by beating
that.
True.
Now we just gotta beat Auburn so it can be the number one Tiger team.
And then you gotta beat Alabama. I need you to put that final nail in their coffin.
1 week at a time.
He said, "Look, temper yourself now."
But going on to the game I'm really looking for this week in college football is Oregon at Washington. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and ask for us to predict this game. So it's really the biggest game. I wish it was a night game, but as you mentioned before we recorded the podcast, KJ, that if it was a night game, we'd be up to like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm gonna ask us to predict. Go ahead and predict this game. In who do you think is gonna win this game? Oregon at Washington. KJ.
Oh, Oregon for sure. I understand that Oregon, that Washington has a good quarterback and all of that stuff, Penning Jr. and all that.
Coming from Indiana, baby.
Oregon, shout out to the Big Ten. Well, both of these are technically next year Big Ten schools, but anyway, Bo Nix. Bo Nix is that quarterback. I've been telling y'all, I got a whiff of him at Auburn. I was like, this man, yeah. I just think he's gonna go into Washington and just beat them. They have the better quarterback.
All right, Q. Who do you think?
I'm struggling right now. I am really struggling hard to pick a winner. It can really go either way.
Struggle.
It can go either way. Both offenses are absolutely lights. Washington, they've scored over 40 in 4 out of 5 games. Oregon have scored over 40 in 4 out of 5 games. Both offenses are lights out. Bo Nix, Heisman candidate possibly. And then Washington with Penix, Heisman candidate. So I'm going to go with the Ducks, but it can really go either way. So I'm going to be excited to watch that one because it can.
And technically, like the states are right next to each other, so it's not like Washington fans are just going to completely outnumber.
That is true. I mean, I would say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say no problem. I would say the winner of this game, because you got 2 Heisman candidates at quarterback, Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. The winner of this game, basically, loser of this game is going to drop in the Heisman. Well, it also depends on both of the plays. Like, let's say if Bo Nix completely lays an egg and Michael Penix plays like at an all-time great level, then Bo Nix, your Heisman campaign is dead. But the same thing is going to be the same thing that's true. Hey, Bo Nix plays at an all-time great level, and Michael Penix, you play well, gone. But I'm going to go with Oregon in this case. I'm going to go with the established national power, which is Oregon. Oregon has been established national power really ever since the Chip Kelly days. And Washington is really the first time where they're actually, this team has a chance to, didn't they make it to, I'm trying to think, didn't one year they make it to the playoff? I know there's one year that we destroyed them in a bowl game. But I was trying to remember if they made it. But this is like, Washington has never been like that national power. Like they've never been on that. They've been on they've been looked to as on a high level, but not on like the highest of high levels as like an Oregon has been looked upon, as like an Alabama or now with Georgia, like programs like that. So I'm going to go with the established national power. I got Oregon. Gotta go with Oregon. I'm going to go. It's going to probably be a relatively high scoring game, like, I don't know, like 43-35. That's a score that just randomly just popped in my head, and that's what I'm going to go with. All right. But are there any other games that I'm going to ask you first, Q? Any? Well, let you go first, KJ. Then.
Yeah, I was going to say, go ahead, Q.
Oh yeah. Any other games in college football that you're interested in watching?
Yep, the other game, and I'm surprised I didn't mention yet, is the other game going on in the Pac-12 or the
yes, sir.
If not even Pac-12 anymore, who knows?
USC Pac-3.
Pac-3, yeah. USC Notre Dame. That's also a really good one. Big Ten / independent. That's a big time rivalry game throughout history. USC and Notre Dame. So that's going to be a fun one to watch as well. USC has still looked really good, and the Pac-12, and it's so interesting that in their last year of existence, they are probably the most talented conference right now because USC has also looked great. Notre Dame, they had that last second loss to Ohio State, and then they lost to they just barely squeaked by Duke, but they're still a really good team, and so I think
they lost to Louisville. Got to add that last week.
That's a good point. I forgot about the Louisville game. Well, I'm still holding on strong. I'm picking Notre Dame to upset upset the Trojans. So I'm rolling with Notre Dame right now because USC, as explosive as that offense is, it is a Luke Riley special where their defense is trash. So look for Sam Hartman, and I forget how to pronounce their running back's name, but I like him. But yeah, look for them to put some pressure on the USC defense. So I'm rolling with Notre Dame right here.
What about you, KJ? Another game?
First and foremost, I'm rolling with USC. But since I think that whoever wins that Oregon Washington game is going to eventually have to play USC in the Pac-12, like championship. Like you said, they're going out with a bang this year. But a game that I was gonna pick that game, but I'm gonna pick a different way, and I'm glad I looked because Miami plays North Carolina in North Carolina. I watch these games all the time. Like Miami and North Carolina games are so fun to watch, really entertaining. And you got your boy Drake May out here, so we will soon to be having 3 NFL quarterbacks in the league. Just saying. But yeah, I'm excited to watch that game. Obviously, I'm going for the Heels. But
so let me go ahead and predict. I don't want to predict the USC Notre Dame game because on this podcast, we all know about my feelings about Notre Dame, and they've always been overrated. So of course, I'm going to go with USC. I don't care about how much. It's probably going to be. Once again, this is going to probably be another high-scoring game, like 38-35. I don't care. Notre Dame's going to beat. I mean, USC is going to beat an overrated Notre Dame. But to your point, KJ, with I was actually looking at people that game too. Drake May, and Miami coming off of a loss that they probably shouldn't. Like, I'm sorry, Mario Cristobal, you need to be fired after that. Like, I don't care. Like, dude, like all you have to do is kneel the ball. Y'all could in this game undefeated. But no. But I think because of that, I think this might be an upset for North Carolina. I don't want to predict.
They can very much well beat us. I never. Even when Miami had the drought years, like I never counted them out.
Because it's like usually like when a team this always happens in football. Usually when a team comes off of a very embarrassing loss, they come back to the next game just like, oh, we finna destroy the next team that gets in our way. And like it happens. So I'm like really scared that this might happen to North Carolina. Because once again on this podcast, y'all know, that's where my mom's side of the family's from. Like that's the side of the family like I really like kind of, take after. So when it comes to, when it comes to University of North Carolina, there's a small part of me that always wants to see them, succeed in it. Like when it comes to, definitely when it comes to basketball, and even when it comes to football, small part, even though I'm not a UNC fan of UNC football, I'm still, heart's always in North Carolina, baby.
North Carolina,
yeah, because both me and you, KJ, our hearts are in North Carolina, man, always. But. But I'm gonna hate to say I think Miami gonna win because just something tells me like they're gonna come in like we're gonna come in like gangbusters. So I'm gonna hate seeing it, but I'm gonna be rooting for UNC all the way. But if you had to ask me to pick, I'm gonna go with Miami, like. Probably by like a touchdown, like 31-24 or something like that. But what about you, Q?
Yeah.
We already asked Q what he wanted.
Oh yeah. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
No problem.
I'm rolling with Miami right here. I think they've looked like a really good team all year, except for one little tiny big mistake in the last game. That was a colossal mess up right there. Um, but besides that, Miami has looked good all year. So I'm rolling with the U right here. I think they win. I got them.
Gotcha. But that's it for the football topics. Can't wait to see Saturday, Sunday. Football season is always the best time of year. Speaking of, let's go into another sport. Basketball season is now in effect because now we are in preseason basketball. The regular season is coming up probably in a week or two. Probably next week you'll hear us do a NBA season preview. But here's something I wanted to talk about. Something I noticed. I was watching a video. I was watching a video on YouTube, and it's talking about it was talking about like hot NBA basketball takes. All right, and it was one take specifically which interests me because it has to do with one LeBron James, and it really and it gives it's something that gives actually LeBron fans a leg up in like the GOAT debate versus him and Jordan. So LeBron only led the league in scoring. He only led the league in scoring once, and that was in 2008. I think I'm trying to remember 2008, 2007. I think it was one of those years. I'm trying to remember. I know it was his first stint in Cleveland. I'm trying to think. I think it was 2007. I think it was 2007 because that next year in 2008 and 2009, that's when he won the MVP. But that 2007 season, it was 2007 because that was the year that 2007-2008 year because that was the year that Kobe Bryant won MVP. Yeah, got it. Yeah, it was. I believe it was. But you can fact check me on that. Q or KJ. But all right, so this is but going on to this stat. All right. Once again, I believe the video went up, I think it was like 16 out of the last 20 scoring leaders also led the league in shot attempts. So, as you see, the person who leads the league in scoring leads the league in shot attempts. All right. Even it told you like Michael Jordan, of the 10 times he led the league in scoring, I think they said he led the league in shot attempts 8 or 9 times. Once again, LeBron only led the league once in shot attempts, and he led the league in scoring. And it said that if LeBron James decided, because it was a hot take, LeBron saying that he could have led the league in scoring if he wanted to, and the guy statistically proved that if LeBron James actually led the league in shot attempts every single year, remember, scoring is not LeBron's game, but if he actually led the league in shot attempts every year with his same efficiency, he would actually it actually proved not only proven that he would have led the league in scoring like 10 times. I think he would have been a 10, 11 time scoring champ. But also, his point per game average for his entire career would have went up from like 27 points to like 32.2 points per game, which is higher than which is the highest points per game average of anybody in NBA history. So, and this is also to people to try to discredit LeBron's winning the scoring title, for the all time. People saying, because he played 20-something years. But he only once led the league in shot attempts. He had a couple of years where he had a few years where he was like second, a few other years where he was third, a couple others where he was fourth. There's some years that he was actually like in like 12th or 13th in shot attempts. So the fact that you were able to be the leading scorer without actually putting up that many, because there's a whole bunch of guys who led the league in scoring who had to put up a lot of shot attempts. Think of guys like Allen Iverson. Think of guys like Kobe Bryant. I just told you about even Michael Jordan himself. Now, Michael Jordan did on a very good efficiency, but still, he still had to put up a lot of shots. He still had to lead the league in shot attempts because Michael Jordan's acumen was to score the ball and but LeBron's is not. But yeah, I just had. What did y'all think about that?
I don't really think that's a hot take. I've been saying that for years. Because people always talk about LeBron and his scoring. But I'm like, LeBron does everything, like literally. So if he wanted to focus on scoring, he could do that. And he, just to your point, he showed us that when he focused on scoring, he did that. So honestly, LeBron could have been broke that record, but LeBron wants to be the greatest, not the greatest scorer. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
We can leave greatest scorer to Carmelo Anthony.
I don't know about you mean Kevin Durant, the greatest scorer ever, but that's
Kevin Durant. No, but
yeah.
I mean that's. I feel like I agree with that hot take.
What about you, Q?
Yeah, I don't know if that's much of a hot take at all. He's been doing this, and especially when he came into the league, it was during that first Cleveland stint, and it was a few of those years. I just put it up. It was actually 2008. That's when he led the league in scoring.
All right, good.
But his highest scoring year was in 2006 when he had about 31.4 points a game. And if I remember correctly, and somebody else can fact check me, I think he didn't win in 2006. I think that's when Kobe scored about 35 a game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, but even still, LeBron, what makes him so good is not just like, it's his overall game. He constantly scores about 27, 28, but he's always had higher efficiency than everybody else. That's always been his game. And that's who he is. And I love Kevin Durant. And the weird thing is Kevin Durant, usually people say that, Kevin is a much better scorer than LeBron or whatever, because Kevin will probably score about 2 or 3 more points a game. But at the same time, LeBron will give you about 4 more assists a game or so. LeBron is
a couple more rebounds.
All of that. Yeah. That's always been LeBron's thing. He's a well-rounded player. He's not because one thing about Jordan, he was going to give you buckets, no matter what. He was going to give you buckets. LeBron will give you buckets, and then his teammates going to give you buckets, and he's going to do all of those things. So that's what he does. And if you've ever thought that LeBron can't score, then just watch him in the playoffs, especially in his prime when he actually got serious and he was dropping 40, 45.
LeBron will have like 6-7 straight assists and then come down the court, full court, and just dunk it on your center face, just to let you know, like, hey, I got this. Well, that's old LeBron. Now LeBron will come up and then he'll do a little fade away 3 and let you know that, hey, it ain't sweet. But
yeah, and can we talk about, and we ain't really got to talk about just how amazing it is, especially this player that he was when he came in the league, when he was like the fastest player on the court, and he just come down on anybody on a fast break and dunk on your head. But now at this age, he can still score the same amount of points, but he ain't got that same speed or athleticism, but he still know how to get buckets. Hey, that's skill right there. That's skill.
LeBron on 2K back in the day was just a cheat code. Like, you just don't do that, bro.
I was gonna quit.
That's like picking Tom Brady and Randy Moss. Like, you cheating. Or the Golden State Warriors in 18. Don't know.
All you had to do with LeBron back in the day was just do a little sprint button. He was just gonna run right by you and then dunk on you.
Straight to the hole. Straight to the hole.
That's it.
But it is wonderful to see the evolution of LeBron James to go from like y'all said, he was just of pure athleticism. Now he's more skilled and he kind of had to be because look at a Blake Griffin who mainly used a lot of his athleticism, though he did become skilled later on, like with like the Pistons and all that. But then like you really wish he would have became more skilled earlier on, so then he wouldn't mess up his knees or anything like that. So because as we've seen, like you cannot just rely on your pure athleticism. That's why you get a guy, your guy Q Zion Williamson. Hopefully he can find a way for him to get more skilled because he can't just go in and dominate and be baby Shaq like for an extended period of time. That's eventually that you're gonna have to get some type of skill. But yeah, just shout out to LeBron James. You just had to give that out just for people, just to give people a little bit more context, especially for those who were saying, hey, he got the scoring title because he played like nah, he never was a scorer. He was always a playmaker. That was always his makeup. That's why that's why you'll see him pass up like the last second shot to a wide open guy from the 3-pointer because he's like, hey, here's a wide open guy. Let me go ahead and get him the ball. You know, he should be able to make it. LeBron always thinks about the right basketball play, not the best shot. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up so we're gonna end this like we always do with our last second shout outs. So KJ, who in the sports world do you have to shout out?
I will not say the Saints chant because again, y'all, I am from North Carolina. We don't do that. But I will tell you who that is, and that man is Alvin Kamara. So shout out to Alvin Kamara for becoming the Saints setting the Saints all-time touchdown record with 73. Good Lord, that's a lot. I remember that game. I don't remember who they played, but I remember that time when he had that 5 touchdown game.
No, I think it was 7.
It could have. Was it? No, I think it was 5, and he was trying to go for 6. And Sean Payton, I think it was like Sean Payton would told him no or something. Whoever the coach was. But yeah, shout out to that man, Alvin Kamara.
All right, Q, who do you got?
In the same breath of things, since he doesn't want to say it, I'll say it. Who that? I gotta give a shout out to my boy, Derek Carr. I was not a fan of him before, but I am a fan of him now. That's my quarterback. Y'all remember that T.O.?
Oh, T.O.
That's my quarterback,
man. That's my quarterback. So I'm sticking with him. Saints by 20. Standing by that. If Saints win by 20, y'all have to come on, even though I may not be on the episode, y'all have to come on and acknowledge it next episode.
Look, man, if y'all win by 20, I'm going to take you out to dinner.
Applebee's got all you need right now. Let's go.
Also,
Olive Garden.
Also, KJ, I looked it up. He had an NFL record 6 rushing touchdowns. He could have had 7, but I think Sean Payton pulled him and said, nah, we had
that was so weak. I want to see him get 7 so bad.
But yeah, he tied the record, and I know a lot of fantasy owners that day. That's greatness right there, because that's 42 points off of touchdowns alone. Not 42, 36. Sorry, I'm thinking 7 touchdowns. I don't know why, but my shout out goes to my quarterback, Sam Howell. You know, the reason why I say this is because I know there are Commanders fans that are doubting you. I know there are. I see him on the Commanders message boards, but believe me, once we get rid of who we need to get rid of, and you know who, and it's our head coach and our defense coordinator, and make Eric Bieniemy the head coach, because that's the reason why we hired him. Let's be honest. That's the reason why we hired him. We're going to be better. So just keep it moving, Sam Howell, because he's actually shown me of these first 5 games that he can be our franchise quarterback. So shout out to you. But that's all the time we have, folks. I am MC Ron with his co-host.
It's Kenneth, y'all.
And our special guest today.
This is boy Q. I've had a great time. Can't wait to get back on with y'all boys.
And we are keeping it 10 toes down. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be on the podcast like our boy Q and talk your sports stuff with the best in the business, that is me and my co-host KJ. All you have to do is one of two things. Either send us an email to keepingit10toesdown@gmail.com. That is keepingit10toesdown@gmail.com, or send us a direct message on Instagram. That is at keepingit10toes. That is at keepingit10toes. We are moving along. I cannot wait. Basketball season is we're in the month of October, people. All 4 major sports are going to be in session. This is the best sports month of the year, because right now you got MLB playoffs, you got the NFL season, you've got the NHL and NBA season getting ready to kick off. You know, whew! I just love this type of year. Next week we're gonna get into probably a little bit of an NBA preview. You know, depending on when the first game is. So maybe next week, maybe next week, maybe the week after. Who knows? But all I know is that we're gonna keep on giving y'all positive and great sports content. But that's all I got, people. You have a wonderful night. Enjoy Thursday night football.
The sun is under my feet and I come in peace to compete. I don't run if you athlete. My statistics go up in weeks and I go visit the nearest creek and I get busy. Yo, mini MC, really ballistic. Anybody can see any assistance. Everybody to see some persistence. Recognize I be really too vicious. The permanent beast and the demolition. Breaking up the street, better partition. Better dot your D. Hannibal mention. How all you see. Putting my dick in the rap industry. Everybody bitching, getting mad at me. Recognize Kendrick.